We're buying a new house right now. We have our inspections that we go through and find out all of our concerns. Well, that's something when usually most good home inspectors are going to recognize if a house is wired in aluminum wiring. If you see that on your inspection report, I would recommend having a qualified electrician give you an idea of what the cost would be to remove it and rewire the house with copper. What would you say is a safe way to, if you bought a house, you love the house, it was wired aluminum wiring. I understand most people, and myself included, would just recommend rewiring it. That's not always an option for everyone's pocket.
It's not an option. Well, first you got to find an insurance company that's willing to insure you with aluminum wire.
True.
And if you have a Zinsco panel, now that's a double whammy. You actually will be able to find an insurance company that will insure you with aluminum wire and a Zinsco panel. But the thing is, you're going to pay an insane amount of money. You're buying a house, you're moving your family into it, and you've done your research on panels, you've done your research on aluminum, you know it's a no-no, you know it's bad, you know it's a fire issue, National Fire Protection Agency came out with reports, all sorts of stuff, and it get rid of it. Other way to do it is definitely AlumiConn, go from aluminum to copper. But you have to realize that those circuits right there, you cannot put a really heavy load on it. You cannot, wintertime, you cannot plug in a couple of space heaters.
You should not.
Do some sort of load calculation on circuits, like for your kitchen wise, for the bathroom, if you got ladies in the house. Let's run some dedicated circuit copper to those locations for you.
Can you explain to the listeners what an AlumiConn is?
It's got some little ports, and then it's got some gooey liquid inside. So you shove a copper into one of the holes, and then you shove aluminum to the other hole, and then you tighten it down, and then you take that and you go to your plug, or I'm sorry, the copper side, and go to your plug. There's plugs out there that are made for aluminum, but I don't recommend that one. Just do it with the no-locks AlumiConn. That's probably the safest way to go.
That's good. And so, yeah, they make a couple different AlumiConn products. They make them in a wire nut type that they're purple. All of the AlumiConn products, so listeners know, if they're doing some making the DIY stuff, they're purple. They're made for mating aluminum to copper. So you can actually use devices that are only listed for utilizing copper and made them to aluminum wire. Rewiring it is probably the best way to do that, because I think you still have an aluminum connection at that point that's how over time, if you're running a heater, a high usage piece of equipment or appliance, that's still something that I wouldn't trust. My recommendation would be, if you're like, we're looking at when we're buying a new house right now, we have our inspections that we go through and find out all of our concerns. Well, that's something when usually most good home inspectors are going to recognize if a house is wired in aluminum wiring. If you see that on your inspection report, I would recommend having a qualified electrician give you an idea of what the cost would be to remove it and rewire the house with copper. That's just a sit-down negotiation with your, during escrow on maybe coming up with an agreement of planning on that before you move into your home. But the alternate, can't afford it. I got to make it safe. I want to put new devices in. How can I do this? Hire a professional to do it. Don't do it yourself. The AlumiConn devices do work installed properly. There's a right and wrong way to do it. Recommend torque specs for the devices that you're using. That, I think, should be done by a qualified electrician who understands what the torque specs are, how to properly, because you're adding that larger device inside of an usually already smaller junction box, because a lot of the older homes that are wired with aluminum don't have as large of a cubic inch junction box. So you do need some space in there to make sure the wires fit. It's safe. You're not cramming them in there, risking damaging to the wire. So sometimes you have to replace the boxes just to shorten it. Have an experienced electrician perform that task.
Laying out an option of what needs to get done to be safe for your family in this house is probably the best. Not everybody's going to have the budget of going, hey, I'm going to tear out my wall apart and run all new, copper wire.
We do get these calls quite a bit, and we always recommend a rewire, but we also understand that comes with the premium price, and it escalates into some wall repair, painting, and it's just not something everyone is ready for. I would highly recommend when you do call out an electrician and you find that a problem is with some failing aluminum connections, that connection is as old as every other connection in your house. It's time to either go through the whole house and at the very least, the first option, replace all the devices using an AlumiConn product to make copper to them. That would be my recommendation. I'm not a big fan of that other than it's UL listed. Mm-hmm. It's safer than it was, but it's still not a cheap repair. I would push on getting rid of the aluminum wire. It's not something that I would keep it. But option 2, AlumiConn's done properly by a professional, is a lesser expensive option.
And a couple of dedicated circuits for whatever.
Yeah, that's a good point. I have an aluminum wire house. We're going to run AlumiConn devices on here because cost is an issue here, but we want to make sure you're safe. But this circuit that you're running right now that have the issue that we're dealing with right now, why don't we run a dedicated circuit, do copper circuit to it, because you run your space heater, or this is where you're running your curling iron and your hair dryer.
Yeah.
Or this is an appliance circuit like your refrigerator or something that runs continuously.
Because back in the days, they would, for the bathroom circuit, they just tied it into the lighting circuit.
And then they also attach it all together, and also, okay, today they have to be out of 20 amp circuit now. But they shared them with the exterior circuits. Mm-hmm. The problem when you're in an aluminum system, something that's called daisy chain. They go from one box to another box to another box to another box to another box. And every time you have a junction box, you have another aluminum connection, which is a potential fail point or hotspot. And you could do this stuff as a homeowner for the homeowners out there going, oh man, my house is wired aluminum wire and I don't know what I should do. Is my house safe? Have an expert look at it. You can always piece stuff together. You don't have to rewire your house all at the same time. We could do it in sections to make it more affordable. We could say off certain sections. We could do everything and whatever increments fit your not only lifestyle, because a rewire is difficult on the lifestyle for people because we're pretty intimate in their home while they're living there. If you're there, once in a while we'll get clients that will move out so we can get it in and out of there quickly. But if you're living in a home, a rewire is very disruptive. Especially the kitchen and the bathroom areas. Those are the toughest.
Yep. The kitchen is the most busiest spot.
And if you have kids, bathrooms are pretty difficult if you don't have stairs or that. And those are tough. But have an expert come check your house out if you have a load of wiring. It really is recommended.
Because a number 12 aluminum to handle 15 amps, right? Mm-hmm. And then your average hair dryer is, I'm guessing, probably 12 to 1800 watts.
Yep.
That's around 15 amps.
15 to 1800 watts.
Yeah.
You plug anything else on that circuit anywhere on that, you're putting a heavy strain on an already fragile system.
Yeah.
And I think that's a lot of people don't understand when electricity works or doesn't work. When it doesn't work, it's a problem. That there's been a strain on that system. There's a lot of points of connections in that system that could fail. The system is just too big to go through and try to repair one at a time. You want to do them in sections that make sense.